Yeah, fair. No one has.
Yeah. Um. Oh, sorry. I just got a little bit. Just.
You've got all the responsibilities. No
Yeah.
worries.
1 second, cause now I'm seeing. Bro, what?
Okay, I will let you deal with that. We are hopping into map bans now. So, we do have a Thatcher off the board here. That will be our first ban. We are playing Clubhouse, like we said. Jackal off next. Again, pretty default bans. Lots of exterior walls. Want stuff to stay closed up. And then the Jackal. Club's fairly big, plus a lot of potential for vertical roam. So, easier way to get rid of those roamers, get into your site, execute a lot faster. Cade ban coming out. Not very surprising. You see Thatcher gone. You really don't have a way to deal with Cade then, so just get rid of him as well. Also allows Hibana to get her job done easier, so hatches will be getting open. Hibana playable, Cade is not, so we'll be seeing that come to fruition at some point here during our attacks. And then Valkyrie gone last, just denying that intel. Um, so that will be that, and then all our bans. We will be getting into the map here. Please enlighten me, Vac. Who's playing with four?
Oh, Houston is playing with four.
Okay,
Boston's managed to field a five. Houston agreed to.
play with four then. Okay,
Yes.
so we got Houston with four. So obviously 45 never ideal. I mean that's just not how it's gonna go. But you still gotta you kind of flex into those more like kind of solo queue ops just because you need people that do everything because you're not gonna have all five roles playing. So you do see the ace. Hard breach can bring claymores, so kind of technically a flank watch, but I can also bring those breach charges can work the vert on kitchen if you're attacking a kitchen. And okay, we are getting into the round here. Speaking of getting the vert over kitchen, we're going to be going down to the basement first. Um, from Boston here. Looking like a fairly aggressive lineup, like we have seen a lot on Clubhouse, honestly. Maybe not in the last game, just because, sorry about that. We don't play that aggressive. I apologize. But yeah, Thunderbird, Orcs, Rook. So definitely going swing or be swung. And if you do hit us, we're just going to be back at full health. So very interesting choice there. Kind of playing in that aggressive meta we were touching on. Then you just got the Maestro maybe coming out for an impact trick or something. And then Mira. Again, Mira's in its basement. You want a player. I mean, there is no downside to playing Mira on basement. The only time there's a downside to her is when you put her on a bad wall. So,
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, I have to ask you, Knock. Is there any hope for Houston here running a four-man roster? I feel like that's the question on
I'm a
everybody's
big
mind.
believer of anything can happen. I mean,
That's not a good
as we
start.
can see, not, not a good start, but you got a million X Kyro, so it's okay. Not gonna see a full roam clear. I mean, you don't have the drones or the trade ability when you're playing,
Mhm.
4v5 really to go for a full roam clear. So definitely getting working that util very early. Think that's a good idea. Really, it's just gonna be how much can Boston really just kind of abuse the 5v4. I mean, you always have opening pick. You can allow stuff to get opened up as long as you go one for one every single engagement on the execute, you win the round technically. But you also can still keep that 4v4 on site and just have someone, lurk around. In this case, kind of
Mhm.
playing it like a sandwich. Put someone on the top floor, let them take the middle floor, and then just stab them in the back. So we'll see how that plays out here as they are just kind of getting their map control. Got dirt open, and we are going to
Spengu.
see a little damage coming out onto Pangu here.
Oh, I don't think we could use that call out. I think we got to say Smurf.
Yeah, we're gonna have to call him Smurf. I feel like there may be copyright infringement there, but it is now a 4v4, and if Ducky's watching, the cards are winning now, so I'm shoving that in your face. And moving on to the rest of the game. Yeah, 4v4 even up, very important are the opening picks here,
Yeah.
because it's like, opening picks already important. 70% of the time when you get an opening pick, you win the round, and
Yeah,
feeding off of
Houston
it as well.
Houston will need to continue to get the opening pick. I think even
Yeah.
just mental wise, morale wise,
Hmm.
seeing that 4v4 to at least start the round, once you get that first kill out of the way, it's way more simple as Smurf takes out Shanksy. Shanksy, manages to refrag on the Smurf and it's a 3v2 all down to Korn and Tau. Taoust is moving in. He's stuck inside of utility room. He's going to light up that chair. That chair must have insulted his family or something. Tao's has control of B side. No, he doesn't. That was a missed call for me as Shanks. He's right there to shut down Tao. Boston will take round number one.
Yeah, and that's going to be another thing we're going to see. Not much of a roam clear. Obviously, you can't. And you're going to get into that XQ quicker, and with lower manpower, that XQ is going to go by quicker because you're not going to have as much potential for trades. You saw him left there in the 1v3. Not where you want to be left, but I mean, obviously, you're playing a man down. You got to work the opening picks, and a lot of what Ducky was saying in the pregame. You got to get aggressive early, but at the same time, you also have to be able to let off the throttle a bit and be thorough and know what you're getting yourself into because especially in a 4v5 you can't afford to be throwing bodies for intel.
That's right. You cannot. There is literally no room for error with a 4v5 at the moment. There is absolutely no room. Like you one misstep and you're already gonna find yourself down two.
Hmm.
It's just you have to play so careful, and it's not impossible, but it's also not encouraged. It's just the best of a
Not
bad
ideal.
situation. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And yeah, I think just I honestly think coming from a hard support, I mean, one of the most overlooked things about a 4v5 is like, oh, well, when you're playing 4v5, we can't shoot back as much. The biggest thing is, like, you can always win your ones. It doesn't, if it's a one-on-one, it doesn't matter how many other people are on the map. I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing, honestly, is you're playing with fewer drones, too. So we saw the Twitch last round, so you supplement the drones you lost by not having a fifth player. We don't see her this round, but we'll see the Flores switched on to.
Hmm.
Obviously, time limited, so you're not going to get as much intel, but it does. I do think that's a great pick in a 4v5 for the fact that you can clear utility without really putting yourself at any risk of getting picked off. I think minimizing a risk is going to be a very important thing here for
One.
Houston as they try and get into this.
That's right. One thing I will point out though, the Barrage also couldn't field a full five. They had to pick up a free agent off roster from Hyper Series. They pulled in Ragnar, the former leader of the Jacksonville Oathsworn, one of our shorter-lived franchises that had to pull out. They've pulled him in to fulfill that roster spot for today. So really, no team is at full strength right now. So I wouldn't put too much salt, or I wouldn't take too much away from this game. But just remember, it's Houston again making the best of a bad situation, but it's not all hope is lost. Obviously, if you're a team that relies on coordination, um, having a I don't want to say a random, but pulling in an off roster at the last minute, it's not really the bonus you think it is. A lot of there. I know players. I'm one of those players where that's an unfortunate start from
I
Smurf.
think a couple of them may have caught the Mira
Yeah.
because she shot 6, but I don't.
Hmm.
I saw. I was watching one of the games on Monday, and I saw 6 Habana pellets being put on a castle barricade, and I just wanted to scream. Oh, and all they
uh,
actually did was open up a peak hole for the mirror to
for the
swing onto on
amazing.
the reinforcement.
Oh yeah. Someone call it
So,
Smurf. You didn't finish the job, mate. You got
yeah,
contracted. You didn't fulfill the
the
contract.
plumber took the pipe off the toilet and
You didn't
left.
put it back. Yeah. Oh.
So now she can swing either side of that mirror. I
Yeah.
wish I had that
Now corn. That's
opportunity when I
that's a
got
good
deleted
idea.
by Jackal last game, but
That's a good idea, actually. That's a good defender idea. You can make holes and reinforce walls, but not
yeah,
like
I've
Mira.
always wanted that to be an op. Just give them like
Defending
one
Maverick.
impact grenade or something that they can use to open a reinforced wall, mainly for stupid randoms. But you can use them very creatively, and being creative is
Ooh.
Smurf onto
Oh.
Keone early, and that mirror's down. She just lets him run on in, and then she
Yeah.
gets mowed down from Toast.
Houston's off to a decent start. They've fragged out. They take out. Oh, Houston has the man advantage, but it's going to get reclaimed.
No.
They still win the round, though. Houston ties it up 1-1. Boston
And
got caught asleep at the wheel.
and yeah, it was another situation of very fast execute. Obviously, big strong point of a bedroom bathroom or bedroom gym, sorry, defense is being able to hold over towards cash, holding those long angles onto any of the verts coming in from highway. But no one, well, that actually was getting watched when Toast hopped in, but they just flood sight. They open wall, they punch the Mira, they flood right in, they pick up a couple frags, and it was just kind of smoke and mirrors. Lots of gunfights being taken onto people not looking towards them. We saw the Habana Smurf swing onto the mute just sitting on the gold vault Mira.
Hmm.
Just wasn't looking, even though she had just killed someone from Condor. So I think maybe the comms aren't as clear for Boston. I mean, definitely an impact of playing with a new player just out of the blue. Not blaming Ragnar at all for that, but just like your entire team mesh isn't there. You're gonna have
That's right.
players playing roles they're not used to, so you're really just throwing whatever you can at the wall and seeing what sticks. And it is gonna be a cap can thrown at the wall here. I think this will be interesting because, like I said, you're going to have fewer drones. You're not going to see those cap cans on drones as much, and especially with how direct Boston has decided they wanted. Sorry, that Houston has decided they wanted to be with this game. The cap can traps could be advantageous, but I do think CC is about the last site you'd want to bring it on because you can just
Hmm.
there's only a couple doorways.
Well,
If
I
you're
sup
pushing rafters and breach, you don't walk through a doorway, you just hold the head holes, except for garage wall
I mean,
door. That's
I
it.
suppose that's I guess, a consequence of playing again with a new player. You know, you don't know the strats, you don't know the team
Hmm.
setup, so you have to go someone who can make an impact solo, who isn't relied on or doesn't rely on somebody else to work. And I can't think of a better defender than Capcan for that, or
I
Oryx
also,
too, but also
yeah,
tanky.
I find it very interesting that there's not a lot of util play coming out of a full defense. I understand, yeah, obviously at a disadvantage with the man count here, as
Shanksy
that's not
takes out
that's not
corner.
gonna help. That's not gonna help the man disadvantage, but I feel like abusing that by abusing the amount of util they can use is definitely there on the board, but we haven't seen a bandit brought at all. The mute's much easier to get off
Ooh,
the wall. Mute's probably the worst wall denial as Toast hits a few shots onto Shanks. It's going to get him down to about 60 health.
Toust engages the Oryx of Shanksy. Shanksy is down to about half. King Woods, Smurf, and Toust are all that remain between a Boston round win. Obviously, I think. Oh, that's the mute of Silence. Silence is playing
Oh,
tight on that red hallway. As soon as he gets the
very
audio
concerned about
cue,
his feet.
someone hops in. That's gonna be the end of them. Smurf gets a
Oh,
quick double. He clears out Garage quick, but Silence is right there.
oh,
He
there
was
was the swing.
waiting for that audio cue. We mentioned that, and he fulfilled the
He
prophecy.
fulfilled the prophecy and played it very well. Got the pick, fell off, but now he's kind of pushed himself back in the engagement. As Smurf is going to pick up a third on the round here, in
That's right.
line for the ace if he wants it. And I think they're aware
Oh!
of him on the, and he's gone too. It's a quad for Smurf on the round. He's going to need one more. That C4 does not matter, but he's going to shoot it out anyways. They didn't even get the default,
Smurf
and he's going
gets
to
an
see it in the bumper,
ace!
and that's an ace. What a round from Smurf there! Just said, I'm going to put the team on my back, picking off heads, and that's just you cannot play that like that if you're Boston. Again, I get it.
What?
You're playing with someone new, but you have intel on the guy rafters. I was in the middle of saying the mute played it well by falling off. It was a good job by Science to get that frag on the breach, fall off. You had the C4 head holes. If they go for a plant, you just toss it over. If they push you, you have a Mossberg. But instead, he runs back, tucks back on the area where they already had intel because he got a kill there. And apparently, they either had a drone or watched him run back. They knew he was there. They heard the C4 rip. I don't know why you're swinging that with a C4. You have a cam telling you the guy's on the window. Just shoot him if you're going to swing.
Yeah, wow. That was well done by Houston. It hasn't affected their mental. I can't lie, but I don't know if, I mean, Houston, credit to them for playing down a person, but Boston is struggling. Less
I
kills
mean,
combined.
yeah. The best thing you can do as a team down, I mean, I know I've said there's a lot of things you can do to try and mitigate the disadvantage, but being able to take advantage of the mistakes of the other team, I mean, maybe they're playing cocky, maybe they're just playing disorganized because they're on, whatever it is, there's going to be mistakes made. I mean, you could be playing the best team in the world. They will make mistakes at some point. Being able to abuse those, especially in a 4v5, is crucial. And Smurf just put all of those mistakes into his little notebook, said, yep, I'm using all of those, and thank you for the ace. We're going to see Toast doing a little recoil practice on the
He's
Zoe.
just checking. He's
Like I
doing
said,
a
maybe
pregame
swapping
warm-up.
up roles. Maybe swapping up the roles. Maybe he's not used to Zoe. Honestly, put Smurf on Zoe. He wants to kill everyone. Just give him someone to mow everyone down with. I mean, he played the breach well, too. So, yeah, I mean, that's another thing we've seen a lot of this heavy one-sided push. We saw the breach get open, we saw the rafter control, didn't see anything really highway side, which is what allowed Silence to play kind of over there, tucked on that top red door. But you can't really go for split pushes or pinch pushes, whatever you want to call them. For us, I mean, if I'm looking at this, I'm going, I'd like to roam clear. I'd also like to not use utility to an impact trick this early, but I'm really questioning the bond here. I don't know why. There's no Kate on the board. Go get the other hatches open before burning your
Boom. All 4
util.
impacts spent.
Like, yeah, you've burned all 4 impacts, but you're only going to be able to open 2 hatches now.
I mean, he
Because you're not going to
does.
have enough X Kairos to
Ah,
get the
that's
blue hatch
true.
open, assuming it's reinforced.
That is
So
very true.
that's why, in my opinion, you get the other hatches first. You get the 2, you guarantee 2 open, then you come. If you get kitchen hatch open, cool. If you don't, it's still soft floor. You can play vert on it. You won't be able to drop, but you can work towards a church execute. We're going to see, smart use of the X-Iris. Not going to get the other hatches, but going for strictly an Arsenal take here. Again, more of this minimalist mindset. You can't take all the map with 4 people. So they're going to take kitchen, they're going to hold the hatch, you're going to hold the flank with the Finka, and you're going to send the Habana up there to try and get the plant down. The only problem is going to be Mannequin's player here, as the Zoe's not going to be able to adequately cover if he plays in the right positions.
Yeah, absolutely right. And oh, the first frag comes out.
Oh,
Shanxi collects Toast, and Smurf's the next to fall. The Houston attack has fallen by the wayside clearly here. They do manage to pick up one.
oh, nice.
King Woods takes out just some nerd with the PKP, and it's all down to a 2v4 situation. With 25 seconds on the clock, it's not an optimal situation. King Woods is pushing in through dirt, and Korn is stuck upstairs. He's going to push down blue, but these frags are going to have to come fast and furiously as there's barely any time left on the clock. I think Houston's just going to talk over next round. They have to conserve
Yep.
everything. In comes King
There's
Woods,
Corn.
but there's a Keone's waiting on that. I don't even know what he's standing on, but Shanxi collects a frag. And finally, some good power and firepower comes out from the Boston Barrage. They're going to tie it up 2-2.
Yeah, definitely a good adjustment there. Not what I mean, especially in the 5v4, you don't want to overextend your man advantage. You don't want to throw that away, but a very good
Absolutely
job
not.
of contained aggression there from Shanxi running out and getting that kill down Chain Hallway. I mean, I was very confused spectating that. I saw the player go down, and I was like, there should only be teammates behind him because the only thing behind him is outside. And then I was like, oh, that's Oryx outside. So, I mean, just great map knowledge there, being able to run out stock. And yeah, again, it's about being very selective with your aggression on 5v4. You don't want to sell, but I also kind of questioned the adjustment there. Because right before those kills came in, we saw hatch control, which was really good. Keeping hatch control down through the hatch and then holding the flank with the Finka. But then we saw them start to go down main stairs. Everyone fell off the hatch. So I am kind of curious as to what the thought process was there, because you sent diffuser in dirt, presumably. Actually, no, looking at the replay, Finka had diffuser. Interesting. So Habano was sneaking in dirt. I mean, it looked like they were shaping up for an Arsenal take. I'd be interested to see what made them change their minds with 30 seconds left. Um, but yeah, I mean, in the past now for them, we won't be seeing that site again, as with round rotation parameter, we're only going to be seeing either CC, Jim, or Bar for the rest of this defensive half. And we will see just what different stuff that brings. We are going to see CC coming here again. This is the second or third time that we've seen it so far. So yeah, we'll see what new stuff comes out here, and if Smurf is going to try and recreate the ace. I think that's a tall order for
That
anyone,
is.
but definitely, I mean, it's his goal, and he's using 6x Kairos to open a head hole.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, just some nerd. Just some angle he
He
had.
predicted the prediction. They,
He, oh
he
my.
somehow knew the prone was going to come out there. I think they might have done that in a previous round, but he knew that was coming. I mean, that kill almost makes up for the fact he's trying to match Cosmic Pink with Black Eyes.
King Woods gets lit up like a Christmas tree, but not before doing the same in turn to Keone. Keone's burned 2 impacts in an attempt to finish off the Osa, but it's not going to find purchase this time around. Taos takes out Shanxi, top fragger off the board for the Boston Barrage early in the round. It's all down to Ragnar, Keone, Silence, and some nerd. We're going to hope to see some fragging power come out from them to make up for the absence of Shanxi. Smurf takes out Ragnar. He's kill list through 5. Smurf, he pushes in. Obviously,
Gets the cap gains.
ace not possible, but he's going to take 60 damage from that cap can trap as King Woods comes around slowly. Silence playing in the same corner as last round with that Mossberg. Let's see if he finds the same success he did last round, or last time they defended CCTV.
Well, playing in the same position here, I mean, he's got the cover if someone swings his door wide, but definitely you have a problem of crossfires there if he swings out and catches a bullet from his cap can. But I don't know, playing on that same hole, definitely a risky move without this breach being fully opened yet, I think. And, oh, yep, it is fully open. I only saw the head hole there for a sec.
They must
But
know he's there.
I do worry. I mean, you gotta know he's there. I mean, my main worry, though, is that the remaining players, even Ragnar was still up, the remaining players for Boston have as many kills as Smurf had the last attack on the site. So we are going to see that number switch up, though, now that just some nerd frags onto King Woods. That's going to be the Osa down, so we're not going to be able to use those shields to push in. It's just going to be on Smurf to use this Rafters control and Toast, rather, to carry in the diffuser.
Taos pushes in. The Mossberg isn't there. Excellent cover fire from Smurf will shut down Silence on the mute. There is a
Oh,
Nitro waiting in the wings to prevent the plant, but Taust isn't planting default. I don't think he
but look
knows
out,
that.
he's
The
in the
call
front
comes out
default.
too late, but he does hop off the diffuser. It's somehow turned into a 1v4 situation.
It's a
Just
retake
some
from
nerd.
Box.
He is in a 2v1 retake. It could turn into a post plant rather quickly, but Smurf
Good cover.
never left the crossfire angle. He shuts down Red, locks down that highway. Houston takes the lead for the second time this game. They're up 3-2. Best Boston can hope for is a 3-3 split coming out of the half, despite being a man up by default.
Yeah, I mean 3-3. I mean you hear, oh, 3-3 half on club. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, but you're actually playing a 5v4. Oh, definitely not what you want. I mean, just not
No,
great
it's not.
execution there on the defense. And if you're any defender for Boston at any point, whether we make it to OT this game or it's just this following round, playing over here on the east side of the map, you better expect Smurf to be playing Rafters window. He has just been holding that down every attack. I mean, obviously, the cap can of Just Some Nerd there was trying to make a play. You hear the defu going down. You have a temporary 1v1, but he's hunting the diffuser. You got to take your one there onto the cover first. And yeah, just a slight misplay. I mean, obviously, very limited intel. They did not have an intel heavy lineup whatsoever. You had the Mozzie, so maybe you had a drone or something. But let's be honest, it's club. Everyone knows where the defaults are. And I think it was also a great call there coming out of Toast to plant pressed up against the cache wall. That they knew the C4 was below, or at least aware that there could be a C4 on the board, and he's like, I am not risking it. I'm going to plant, tucked on that Azami Kiva barrier on the kind of the cache door CC entry area. So I think just really smart play, and another just sign of being able to be aggressive in a 4v5, but also being able to, keep that in and not get over aggressive. Because I definitely saw the swing come from the ace onto the guy top red, and I was like, I really hope you get this defuse down. So being able to pull back, be passive, let the players come to you when they have to. Definitely a good job there. But we will see what this next round has in store for us as maybe a third time's a charm. Just maybe.
Yeah, let's see if Boston can at least come out with a tie. Save themselves, I hate to say it, a bit of embarrassment.
Yeah. I think tie is worst case. I mean,
I
obviously
mean,
you
it's
can
not
lose the
possible to
round.
have anything
It's,
but
yeah.
but.
But I mean, you coming into this game, if you said tie, that'd be their worst case. I mean, you
True.
cannot lose. This is a must-win round, in my opinion. I mean, it is defense on club. I get that. And you don't have like very defender-sided or not very attacker-sided bans. I mean, EMP's gone, Jackal gone,
Here we go. A good start, at
as well as the
least.
Sledge gone for
Yeah.
this round.
King Wood's gone. Good start. Good opener from Keone. That gives Boston a 5v3 advantage, but it's going to go to
Oh,
4 real
oh,
quickly.
the
Corn
prones
and
on
these
barricades this
prones.
game. The prones on the barricades this game is just going insane right now. As that's going to be the nade, I assume,
No
spent
way
on the
they
castle barricades. That's going to be lounge
relinquish
control
Garage.
already.
No way
Yeah,
they're
I
going
think
to relinquish Garage a
I
third
believe
time.
they have. I mean, I think the main point of this hold wasn't
Oh
as
my.
much. Oh no, they didn't even know they relinquished it. They had barbed, but it's too far from anyone for anyone to hear it. I assume default cam's not up then, and that means wall's going to be coming open for free when Toast gets to it. Like I said, expect Smurf to be in rafters if you are playing CC. He will be there, and he's actually going to vault through the window here, making his way into sight, just channeling his inner Shiko, playing entry Habana. He's going to be
He
walking in,
wasn't
sees
even
the Mozzie.
looking.
Mozzie's looking at Khan for some reason, and the plant's going to start going down here from Ace.
And it's a
Last left up is
4-piece.
Silence, and oh my. I don't know how you let that happen consistent. I don't know why you run back CC 3 times. You got bar, you got bedroom. I mean, I get it. You're playing with a random. Maybe you don't want to play bar, but I mean, you lose CC that many times. At least try bedroom. If you don't want to try bedroom, try bar. Just reinforce the site walls, open up the hatches. It will go better than the CC rounds have gone for you. I feel like kick screaming don't stop sprinting bio. I just don't get how you can keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I understand they were going for a heavy lounge hold there. Deny the vert, the ability to plant by playing that vert
Yeah.
C4 that didn't work last time. They had less intel last time, of course, but opening up that wall into garage, it's like, oh, we can deny Smurf coming up rafter stairs. You can't deny your little feetsies getting shot out by Corn Plumber. I said earlier, we're not going to see many split pushes, but Corn just over here doing his own little thing, sneaking in with the Nook and just shooting the toesies right off the
Yeah,
castle
I don't get
and
it.
just opening it right on up
I'm,
into the rest of the
I'm
round.
going to say something a bit controversial, and I'm not trying to, smack talk anybody. But Smurf has 15 kills, okay? We've watched them on Habana from numerous rounds. And I'm not mechanically gifted. I'll say that. I'm never going to be like I'm a crazy fragger. I click heads all day. That's not what I do. But so I think I know what I'm talking about when I watch Smurf's gameplay. And Smurf, this isn't a knock at you. You're putting in the results. But Smurf isn't doing anything special. Smurf isn't like
He's taking what's there.
looking at the gameplay. He doesn't look like one of those 100 cents demons that's just clicking heads all day. That makes you wonder if he's MNK. Smurf is playing typical console Siege, and his positioning is just so on
Yeah,
point. His gun skill doesn't even need to be up there right now.
yeah. I mean, it reminds me of almost a joystick-esque playstyle. Like he's not swinging people, bolo
That's right.
peeking, and just frying people. He's just
Just
not where they
playing
expect
the
him to be. He
game.
gets a kill, he's somewhere else, and then he's killing someone
That's
else.
right. He's
And yeah, I
not
mean, yeah,
taking ones in a typical manner. He's taking ones with intel, and he's taking ones when he like. Again, my motto in Siege is you don't need gun skill if the opponent doesn't get a chance to shoot back. And Smurf's
yeah.
positioning is putting him in these positions where his opponents aren't shooting back or
And his
can't.
positioning right now has already burnt a minute off the clock. Like they've got garage, they got G1 panel opened up for the head holes up into rafters, and they got the bottom, they got the G2 wall as well open to walk through. But they're
Finally,
busy. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
there
I'm
we go.
upset with my warden there, but he gets the refrag. And now we're going to do a 4v3. He's going to swing again and already getting his angle. Why would you swing back into it?
Even prone too. So walls
Yeah, like you're
open.
not moving fast.
Yeah, positioning so far, Boston's attack off to a much better start than any of their defenses. They hold a significant man advantage. They have garage control. It's all down to Korn and Taust both watching the rafters. But the main difference is that main wall is open, and Ragnar's waiting to pounce. They've been
Yeah.
relegated to cash, all of the remaining Houston Havoc defenders. Even Taos has retreated into construction. He's going to peek into the rafters. Ragnar, I believe, sorry, that's Silence looking to recreate that Smurf magic through those pesky holes inside of rafters.
Using the Cali to open
There's
the
there's no
wall.
soft destruction because Keone is in garage. The only soft destruction they have is in Keone's possession, so they're gonna have to do this the
Oh,
old-fashioned
that's
way.
the last C4. They
There we
threw
go.
that early. They did not wait for the plant to go down, and the C4 is going to be burnt early, so now they can't play this passive. They're going to turn
That's
into the
right.
attackers
T
here.
minus 33 into the point of no return. Korn opens up the fragging in this retake situation. He takes out some nerd. It's 2v3 now. Positioning is pretty decent for the Barrage. Ragnar outside. Keone also outside. Silence in a dangerous position to say the least. He's going to have to rely on his external cover. The external cover isn't necessary as Silence takes out Korn. It's a 1v3, nigh impossible for Taust as Ragnar secures his first frag. The long cover works. The Boston Barrage bring one back. They're still down though, 4-3.
Yeah, clean attack there. I think obviously first sign showed that the attacking with the man advantage seems to be easier for them.
Yep.
And to me that kind of makes sense because you control the pace to an extent. It's a lot easier to set up crosses and trades when you're attacking, depending on the team you are. I mean, obviously it varies from team to team, but you definitely have the intel advantage. And when you're already a man down and you know where people are, it's easy to just throw two bodies at it. And it's like, okay, well, we're gonna come out at worst 1-1 and we'll still have man advantage. So I also think again, not harnessing the aggression on the side of being down. So we saw King Woods re-swinging prone peak. Just generally don't do that because your elbow's around the corner a year before you can see around
That's
it.
right.
So, just a tip. Not saying you're bad, not saying I'm better than you. There's a reason I'm casting this game. Um, but yeah, just something you typically don't want to do. So we will be seeing a basement defense. I think this plays out a whole lot better in a 4v5. I think Cash is one of the worst sites to hold in a 4v5, just
I,
for the fact that you need a guy con side,
mhm.
you need a guy top red, you need a guy rafters. You're stretched really thin. You can't trade really well in that situation. So
You
basement, you can put all four people on site. If you had five people, you could put five people on site, and you'd be okay. So I think this sets up a whole lot better for them.
you also can't forget just defending in general is harder in a 4v5, I think, more than attacking. Opening frag, Smurf, snipes just some nerd. That fuse will not make it into the building. That means no, that's a pretty crucial part
No
if you're
cluster
attacking basement.
charges.
That's right.
Yeah.
But as I
No cluster
was,
charges, but still a good amount of utility on the board.
yeah, exactly. As I was saying though, defending particularly is harder because you just cannot, you can't watch as many angles. You because especially when you're defending and you have to, it's just the way the game is built.
Yeah.
You're
Defending,
not,
you have to cover everything.
yeah,
Attack, you can
you're
just push one thing.
relegated. You're not in the driver's seat when you're defending. You don't get to choose how the enemy team attacks. Really, you can manipulate how they attack, but you can't choose what they do.
Yeah, I think the best kind of analogy is you can build the road, but they can drive on it as fast as possible.
That's right. You can't control the speed they go at. You can't control any of that. So really, you're relegated to the passenger seat, and when you're in the passenger seat, you have no control. And when you're so typically with four defenders, you just can't. It just isn't as easy. Is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully the analogy works for most of our viewers. It makes sense
Yeah,
to me.
it makes
Okay,
sense to me.
so
And there's another. You had a drone in main. I mean, you have the util advantage here.
his
Obviously, you have the
position.
util advantage. You have the drone advantage. You have 10 drones on attack. They only get 8. But
So
they're just not utilizing them. They're droning themselves in. You saw
is
Shacey
that
hop
happen?
off that drone before walking into the line of sight.
What has
Just
happened?
not good team play here, but we'll see the ace sneaking up dirt. But the barricade here may foil the plan to sneak on in. He's got a drone right here. No one's looking. Oh, Solus may have a premonition that he's over there. But I think she's also
Keone
much more concerned with the hatch.
Keone may be the next to fall. He's
Oh.
taking extreme amounts of damage.
But he's gonna open that
Does he?
dirt door so
Oh!
that no one knows. Oh!
Oh, he
That's
does
gonna be
down Smurf.
Smurf down.
Is Taos the next to go? He's turned to confirm his kill, but he's turned at the wrong
Oh
time!
no!
It's a 2v1.
Getting
Silence
kill
is
hungry.
not
No.
in the vicinity. And Taust is going to get Smurf up, and this just became a much taller order for the final member of the Boston Barrage. He
Beefy's
lights
down
up
up there in
Korn,
bar.
and now Houston is going to use the hatch Boston opened against them.
Oh, that is painful.
Houston is 1 round away from taking match point
And that
with a
was
4-man roster.
probably, like, I don't want to say this to insult any of the rest of the team, but that was probably the first round they won, not entirely off the back of Smurf. Let's be honest, they had 10 kills combined to Smurf 16 coming into the round. But Smurf gets the opening pick, so he actually had 15 coming around. My apologies. But he gets the opening pick, they even it up, but then he gets refragged after taking out Shanksy. So yeah, he did get 2, he evened it up, but he was gone before the execute. Not something we really saw on the attacks. He was the spearhead on the execute, and they were not getting him off the board at all. But seeing the rest of the team be able to kind of come in and clean that up, that's just something that it's good for team play, and it's just something you can't let happen as an attacking team.
I can't believe this is, wow. After dominating the Las Vegas Sevens last week, 7-3. Okay.
I'm more
No.
concerned what this says about Las Vegas.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say, wait. Boston. Las Vegas. What happened last week? I mean,
It's the same map.
yeah, it's the same map. But that's not. Boston's not playing
I mean,
right
you
now.
didn't play
I
the
mean,
same
Las Vegas
lineup.
isn't
I
playing
get
right now.
that. Yeah, I mean, and everyone has their bad days. I mean, I'll be the first to say that uh, Tampa Bay looked absolutely terrible on Chalet last week, especially on the defenses.
Have
I
to
mean,
agree.
both teams look terrible on defenses when one defensive round happens the entire game. But I mean, it can't be a week to week thing. I mean, I bet if we saw Chalet from us again, we wouldn't hopefully lose every defense. But I mean, at the very least, just stray away from Clubhouse if you're Las Vegas for the next few weeks. Because there's VOD on it, it's fresh, and you're kind of down the totem pole on it right now. No offense. You may be the best Villa team on Earth, but the totem pole is not in your favor. And what isn't in favor here is going to be the trick coming out. Oh, it's a double trick to me.
It
In
gets
fact,
opened,
and the
however,
bandit trick.
just too high. Just a few inches too high. Korn takes out Shanksy.
No! You're Osa. Play behind the shield.
Korn does fall to Keone's AK-74, though. Keone's going to take heavy damage. Oh, excellent peek from Keone. Shuts down Taust. Ragnar, the next to fall for the Boston Barrage. Korn is down. It's down to King and Smurf. Smurf is coming back up that garage hatch, and he's going to attempt to hold all of the main site. Keone's the next to fall, though, and Korn's been rezzed. The man count has fallen back into Houston's hands, but it slipped from their grasp. It's all down to Smurf in a 1v2, and if there's a man you want in this situation, it's Smurf.
Yeah, Smurf, you need to slow down. You need to get your intel on Smurf because he has double the kills your remaining 2 players have combined. Not saying that, I mean, anyone can win any given gunfight, don't get me wrong, but you have a minute and a half. You have 4 drones between the 2 of you, all still on the board, whether they're in pocket or not. You have defuse in hand. You can't get plat breach open. You're out of ace charges. If you want, you can put a bot on plat and let Ace work his way up rafters. If you get the intel, you'll know that. You'll be able to come in and go for a default plant. The only thing stopping him would be Smurf going below, so he's got to plant off slightly off angle. But as of right now, nothing. I'm not sure there's anything Smurf can do to deny them from getting in the plant if they play it smart. It all depends on if there's head holes on rafters wall or not.
Crucially, there is 1 frag grenade left in possession of the Boston Barrage. And I think I don't know if they're going to be able to take Smurf in a gunfight. They're going to need to use that frag grenade to their
Yeah.
biggest advantage as
Oh no, he's
Silence
gonna swing
falls.
into it. So
15
yeah,
seconds, diffuser
and you can't
cold.
get in if you're Yana. You're outside on plat. So they did basically what I said they do, but these head holes, they have nothing to open up to get through, so they had to go through the window. And at this point,
He's
oh, here
dead.
comes the nade, but he's just gonna use it for cover, and he is gone.
Houston Havoc put themselves onto match point. Just
Like you
some
said, it's
nerd just
match
broke the
point,
20 kill barrier.
and we've hit 20. We tied the record from just last week.
There is going to be a tactical timeout called by the Houston Havoc. Odd enough.
Interesting. Something you'll see this a few times from professional teams. They don't want to get overhyped, especially in a 4v5. You have the momentum. You don't want to get overhyped and let it slip. Because once it slips, it's going to be hard to get back. I get that Smurf can seem to bring any momentum out of anywhere. He just keeps it buried in his pocket somewhere,
Get it.
apparently. But you don't want to let it slip. You have match point here. You want to make sure you calm down, get your thoughts concise, know what you really want to do here going into this potentially last round of the game, and
I mean, I just want
really
to
just you want to execute it right. You
I
want to
want to
make sure everyone's
mention
on the same
something.
page.
It's just maybe a bit of a dumb joke. Do we know if that's not actually Pengu? Do we know what is the
I
NAL broadcast done? Did Pengu
yeah,
did
I
he go home?
believe if it was Pingu, I'm just gonna entertain the thought for a sec. We would be banning Houston because he's never played console Siege in his life. So,
Oh, oh
um,
man.
but yeah, I mean that's a 1vx for him on the board now. He's got 20 kills. Granted, if you're winning a 4v5, you're gonna get more kills because there's not a fifth person to take those kills from you. But it's still 20. The rest of your team has 5 apiece. Heck,
This
if you're
is
Boston, you have what?
history.
9? Was another 9? Boston combined has 22.
This is unfortunate. Chat saying GG. Chat, I wouldn't count them out yet, chat. You know,
GG from
it's still a
Armor.
4v5, you know? Statistically, this will not end in a win. But,
Yeah, I mean, like we said, like, I was talking opening picks earlier. I mean, statistically speaking, 70% of rounds where opening picks are had. The team that gets the opening pick wins. I mean, Boston technically gets the opening pick by default every round. That's not how it'll go in the stats. But you're playing a
oh,
5v4 every
oh,
round.
you
You should
can't
win
do
70%
that.
of rounds.
You can't do that. Houston feels bad.
No.
Houston, no, that was on purpose, I think.
I mean,
Houston
I would
feels
hope
bad.
this early in the round, unless he was
That's
shooting at a drone.
that is a worse like
Oh,
taunt.
that's that. No, I think that's why they called their timeout.
Is
Smart
he?
probably had to go do something. I'm
If
guessing he's
he
AFK.
didn't, that's a worse taunt than
Oh yeah, if he didn't,
that's
that's
a
just
worse taunt than what
yeah, we have 3 people doing a
G2
quarter
did.
as well as our top player, and we still think we're gonna beat you in a 3v5. That would be rough. But I would assume he has something going on. Um, and yeah, they use their timeout, so they can't call for a pause unless there is actually a technical problem. Otherwise, they technically be abusing the rulebook. So we will see what's going on there. He did get Rook, so I'm assuming he might have got autoed onto him,
True, true.
especially
He would have
since
chosen Oryx.
yeah, he's been on Oryx. So we will see where the 3v5 takes him. We're over a minute into the round, and for PvP, not teammate v teammate, there hasn't been any action yet.
Some
As I
nerd, he's
said,
taking
some
heavy
nerd getting lit
damage.
up. Yep.
He engages. I think that's King Woods inside of Cash. He is
No.
blind as a bat.
Shanksy
So
taking some damage
much
as well.
utility coming in from both sides to attempt to dislodge him. There's an entire setup dedicated. In comes another stun grenade, but the green box blocks him. King Woods takes out some
No.
nerd. He does take damage in the process. Keone's coming around. Silence takes out Taos, and
Uh-oh.
oh, okay.
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 Safe
Boston
round.
takes a round. 2 rounds until a forced overtime.
I think this game has an asterisk next to it no matter what happens. Well, like, if Houston wins, it doesn't need one. Like, obviously, the asterisk is for them. I mean, I don't see why they do that. But if Boston wins, there's definitely an asterisk next to it. Put 2 or 3 next to that specific round just for the fact that Smurf wasn't there. And it seems like he's still not back. He hasn't picked an op.
No, this is a Herculean effort. Like, I've never seen this.
So
This
the
is.
question is, what do you do now if you're Houston? Like, I get it's a 3v5 essentially.
You
I don't
try.
know what Smurf's doing. Maybe busy. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe his agent just walked in and was like, "Hey, we got you the rights to be the real Pengu. We're gonna need you to sign off on this right now." But I don't know what you do here. I mean, it's a 3v5. You've won a couple rounds where you lost Smurf earlier in the match on defense, but you had an even man count by that point. So I think you just embrace the ranked play style. You just swing. You need an early pick. You can't go, oh, we'll just do what we've been doing. Because, A, Smurf's not on the board, but you just need an early pick. You can't be playing a 3v5 for the entire round. You're going to see something like that last round. You're just going to have util tossed at you from everywhere, and you're just going to be getting abused, getting shot from every angle. You're just not. You got to get a couple guns off the board to at least give yourself some breathing room. I mean,
Yeah,
you just got to
absolutely.
get an early pick here. So we are seeing Pingu go. I'm assuming autoed onto Capcan. Do we know if he's back? No, he's
Nope.
not. That is unfortunate. And they can TK him all they want since it's a custom. It
Yeah.
does look like we're going back down here to basement. I think that is again the best possible site you can go to in this situation. I mean, there is no good site, but I mean, you put someone by dummies, someone in blue, someone in church, and you have all the basics covered.
Hmm.
You can at least refrag. You're not gonna lose someone willy-nilly, and you're gonna have a pretty good opportunity of at least taking one before you go as well, even if you don't need a refrag after. I mean, who knows? Maybe this could just be the world's largest troll, and it's a full 2-round AFK bait. They're gonna wait for him to run in on Pengu and just have him
Yeah.
just
Korn will
pop
be
back on the
playing
controller.
inside of Dirt. He's going to be holding back Ragnar on the Monty, pushing down through
Monty in
Dirt
a
team.
5v3 is crazy.
Walking
Like,
drone is
I
a walking
get
drone.
you need to win. I get it. You need to do whatever you need to win. But if that's what you need to do to win,
Oh!
self-reflect. Oh, that shouldn't happen, but it did. From POV, I feel like Ragnar's monitor may need a wellness check, but that's just unfortunate. And then, oh, Korn getting real
Take that's the
spiffy with it
cold
with the drop shot,
diffuser.
and that's in dirt. What's breach on dirt look like? Was it just like a hard breach? Oh, it was. So they have to physically vault it. He's gonna fuse himself.
No! What?
No words. Why are you fusing that? I also think Smurf may be doing this out of respect to the kill record. I don't know, but he won't break it unless Keone magically clutches this up with the AKM, and he's just sitting here
He can't
wondering
believe what's
how
happening.
have I got. Yeah, he said, "Yep, this is me." You're probably wondering how I wound up in this situation. And to be frank, the rest of us are too. He's gonna try and sneak his way up long here. He's gonna have one on B2, one playing deep dirt on the DFU, and one in Churchy. He's gonna sneak his way into Arsenal. He's only got 13 seconds to make this stick. And one on AK. He's gonna swing, not gonna land the shots, just on 1 health from the
The,
Malusi. And now
the
everyone's gonna come
Houston
out,
Havoc take it.
and that's gonna be the game. I don't know if I can do more after that. I know I can, but it just feels wrong. I need someone. If we can get a Smurf interview,
I
it's
don't even think he's in the Discord.
mandatory. Uh, Send him a carrier pigeon to get him in the Discord. We